1, 1, 2, 3. Yes, yes, no. How to become professional photographer? How much to charge for photography and video? This is probably the most asked questions by photographers. I would rather rephrase this question as to how to earn living in photography and video. I've been a professional freelance photographer all my life, since I was 19 years old. Never had another job, never wanted one. I'm 100% sure that I managed to do this because I was always good at business of photography. In my life I met lots of people who were extremely talented photographers, but for different reasons they never managed to earn living that way. They had other professions and did photography on the side. Often they had amazing photographs, but 99% of the time they didn't manage to turn photography into their profession because they were not good in business of photography. Let me say something very obvious. It is not about how much money you earn, but how much you keep. You can earn $10 million a year, but if your expenses are $15 million, then you're $5 million in debt. We regularly see headlines in media about celebrities who, by all standards, earn a lot of money and go into bankruptcy. I would say that controlling your expenses is as much important as how much you earn, if not more. Let me give you a real-life example. A few years back, I met with a young photographer who wanted to talk about his business. He told me that he does every job he can find, from individual portraits to weddings to small corporate jobs, anything. But at the end of the day, he only breaks even at best. His main question was, how much should I charge for my work? Maybe I don't charge enough. During our conversation, I learned that he has really nice equipment, top-of-the-line cameras and lenses and a lot of other stuff. But the kind of work he did didn't really require that level of professional equipment. Top-of-the-line equipment always costs top dollars. This kind of expense is only justified if you have constant flow of high-end jobs. Otherwise, you can use equipment which costs at least 50% less, and if one day a big client comes in, you can always buy new equipment or, better yet, rent one for the job. Considering how much top-of-the-line equipment costs, we're talking about thousands of dollars. Of course, I understand. We love our toys. When we buy a new camera or lens, we don't even need to take pictures. We're already so happy. I'm guilty as charged. I'm buying way more stuff than I need. Often it's small stuff. Little attachments, screws, filter and such. But at the end of the month, I'm looking at my credit card savings like, whoa, did I really need all that stuff? Did I take more and better pictures now? The answer is probably no. One of conversations I hear often is when people say, oh, I need this 4K or 8K camera because then my work will keep value in the future. In my view, it is absolutely unnecessary giant expense. You buy top equipment when you need one for the job, not to keep your work for the future, whatever it is. I don't know about them, but I'm not Coppola, Spielberg or Scorsese. I don't think that my work is so valuable for the human race. I would rather invest more money into a new project, not into equipment which will be obsolete next year. Not to mention that I don't have any problems watching old black and white movies. I love watching them. Please understand, I'm not in position to tell anybody what to do in their life. All I'm saying is that if you want to be in business of photography, it is very important to understand and control your expenses. And here comes the understanding of how much to charge for your work. Ideally, you should have statistics of your income and expenses from, let's say, last year. Not just the general number, but it needs to be detailed. Like you did 40 portrait jobs, $250 each, 10 weddings, $2,000 each, 10 small corporate jobs, $1,000 each. With some of your photography stock sales, total comes to $45,000. Let's say after taxes you have $38,000. Now let's look at your expenses. Equipment, $2,000, supplies, $500, car transportation, $500, internet and phone, $1,500, rent and utilities, $18,000, food and entertainment, $10,000, health insurance, $2,500, clothes, $500, other expenses, $1,000, total $41,000. So you're $3,000 short, and you didn't put any money for the future, life and work, or if you get sick, or if business is slow. Having numbers like this, you need to make serious changes. Of course, you always need to look for more work, but it's not always up to you. If you already have basic equipment or you can rent equipment for different jobs, then you can save big part of $2,000 equipment charge. Maybe you can charge $25 or $50 more per portrait. Maybe $100 more for a wedding by adding extra service, and so on. Do the math. You can also review other expenses and see how you can minimize it to bring your business situation to profitability. Now, how to deal with clients. You've got a phone call with a request for portrait photography. People will always ask you for the price. Never ever give client the price until you know exactly what they want. Possible questions. What is this portrait for? Is it for personal use, editorial, corporate, maybe headshot for an actor, or portrait or for a businessman? Is this portrait in the studio, in indoor location or outdoors? Do you need any different setups and clothes changes? You need it to estimate time. Do you require makeup artist and stylist? How many images do you expect and need? How would you like images to be delivered? Prints or digital files? Shooting date and delivery date, deposit, how client will pay for the job, cash, check, credit card, may I use your images in my portfolio, compensation for delay or cancellation, any other questions you might have. It is better to have all questions prepared in advance, in writing, for different jobs. Don't quote your price at the end of phone conversation. Tell your client that you will get back to them promptly. If clients still insist on the price quote, give them a price range. The more questions you ask, the better you prepare it for the price quote and to sign the contract. Always have your contract sample in your files. All you need to do is to add information based on questions above and send it to client. Contract is essential for photography business. It makes clear clients' needs and expectations and photographers' compensation and obligations. It is highly recommended to have signed contract for all your jobs. Keep them in your files indefinitely. Photography is art. It's our love, it's our passion. Don't know anybody who became photographer for the money. But if you want to have photography as a profession, you need to take care of business part. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.